This is going to be a rough video. It's hard to get. Anyways. Hey everybody, so I originally made this video to go over like the initial reaction to the GoPro Hero 7 when I got it in the mail. I wanted to give reasons why I picked out the GoPro Hero 7 and decided to upgrade. That way you could maybe make a choice or a decision for your own self of whether you should get the Hero 7 or not. After being able to try out this camera for a few days now, I have found certain features of it that I just absolutely love, and I'm so happy that I got the camera because of these features. And I go over them at around the 8-minute and 40-second mark, so if you're looking for a good reason or an excuse to get this camera and upgrade from an old one, or maybe even it's your first GoPro, then I encourage you to just if you don't want to watch the whole video, go ahead and skip to the 8-minute and 40-second mark, and you can see those top reasons of why I love this camera so much now that I've gotten to try it out for a few days. What's up YouTube? So today I finally made the decision to buy the GoPro Hero 7. Tripod. Extra battery and dual battery charger. And finally, the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I think there's some stuff in here I actually needed. Okay, so here. I always figured I'd need a little bendy tripod. I've always been looking for a tripod, and after watching different YouTube videos and trying to decide which one to get, just went with this one. It was $15. Cool little bendy tripod, bends all different ways. See that, wrapped around anything. And this is the LDX 668 suit. Here we have the dual battery charger and extra battery. I think this was like $39 or something like that. So not too bad, a little less than on the official GoPro site. Got it off as Amazon. I'm definitely sending this back if it doesn't come with a cord. Oh, there's the cord. So now for the final GoPro. So this is straight from the GoPro official website. $399. Plus there's a little extra like sales tax, which is like 32 bucks. So let's open it up. And I've been debating to get this for a while now. I had the GoPro Hero7 Black, which I've had for a couple years now, and just didn't feel like the upgrades were worthy enough through the 5 and 6. But after reading about the 7 and looking at a bunch of different YouTube videos and stuff, I finally thought about giving in. Then eventually I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. Some of the things I didn't like about it was still they didn't really fix the low light quality, which is not that great, but I'm hoping it's a little better on this one than the 4, but I don't know, we'll see. So if you're anything like me, you don't want to waste your money on just any old camera. So after thoroughly researching different cameras, the ones that are on the cheaper end that are not GoPro but they're still 4K action cameras, researching those, actual maybe a nice big or video camera that can be better for low light, I finally decided that this Hero 7 Black was the best option. And of course, the renowned Hyper Smooth imaging. Hyper Smooth is on. My room is very messy, I'm sorry. That's probably why. Small, it's compact, it's not something I have to hold in my hand the whole time I'm doing any like sporty stuff or I want to be out on the water. It's waterproof down to I think it's like 33 meters without the dive housing on it, so that is pretty nice. It already comes in a housing case, so that's perfect. The lens is replaceable, which is not the case on the 4. And I know there's a lot of other YouTube videos that have already been done on the Hero 7, probably way better than this review, but this is just going to be an explanation of why exactly I picked the Hero 7 over looking at all these other cameras. And here's your new GoPro. Okay, so I just changed the settings a little bit to 1440 for resolution and then 60 frames per second. That way we can get this like linear view instead of the wide view. See how that looks. Maybe it looks a little better. Usually if I'm doing like have it mounted to me or on me, I have the wide view. That way I can just like capture everything that's happening right in my area up real close. But if I have it on a drone or something, I'll put it in the linear view. That way I can get a more concentrated view of what I'm looking at when it's far away. Also, thank you GoPro for putting a zoom finally on this. Even though it's only a slight one, it is something. Granted, it's not made for taking pictures of things far away. It's more what's happening right now in your space. But that zoom does help. That way you can just get that clear focus in on what exactly you want your audience to see. As well as one thing I noticed on the GoPro, this GoPro is slightly bigger than the Hero 4. So not by much, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with all the waterproofing they did to this new one, and as well as the screen they put on the back of it. So worth it. I don't know how you can pack all that stuff in there, but somehow they figured it out. Also, now it's way easier to actually go in and customize the video. Now with the screen on the back, it's really easy just to swipe along and select which settings you want, or you can hook your app on your phone up to the GoPro, and that is just super easy to just see all the list of settings and go through, select the ones you want, the ones you don't, take off, and it's really snappy about making the changes on the camera itself. So that's another thing I really like. And then finally, what I love the most is the voice responsive camera. Instead of always trying to reach up, turn the camera on, turn it off wherever it's mounted, now you just say, GoPro, take a video, GoPro, take a picture, GoPro, highlight a moment, and it'll just do all those things automatically on the camera for you. Then GoPro, turn off, turn on. I actually don't know if that's one of them. But anyways, the voice responsive camera is something that is a must for adventurers and people who are trying to record their moments and don't want to miss a shot by the hassle of trying to take off their backpack or whatever, put down their ski pole just to press the power button. So that's something that GoPro really did well. Also kind of outdoes their need for one of those smart remotes to turn it on and off, because why would I pay $70 and buy one of those when I can just say, hey GoPro, turn on with my new GoPro. So one thing I have noticed, I've only had it for a day now, but as soon as I turned it on, I noticed it was getting hot already. And it's not because of the temperature outside. We're in November in Ohio. It's pretty cold out right now. So I don't know how that's going to affect summertime heat of when it hits like low 90s, high 80s. Is that going to affect how hot the GoPro gets? Will it still be able to function in that sort of heat? I mean, I know that's not even very hot, but I'm kind of worried about it because of how hot it was getting out in just the 30-degree temperature it is right now. Another thing that I want to mention is the battery life on this thing. And as GoPros are renowned for not having very long battery life, I would very well recommend having 2 batteries and one of those dual battery chargers, which you can get, don't buy off like the GoPro website. You can find them on like Amazon for like cheaper. So I would definitely recommend getting a second battery. That way when your first one dies, because you know it's going to die halfway through your adventure, you're going to pop that out and put the new one in. Okay, then you're good to go. So after finally ending the debate in my head that went on for so long of whether or not to buy this camera, whether I should buy a different sports action camera or maybe a regular just point and shoot camera, the debate's finally over, and I got to see a little bit of this camera and what I like about it so far, and is it worth the money? My consensus? Yes. Alright, so I've had this camera for a few days now, and I've gotten to try out certain features, and something that I absolutely love about this camera is the time warp feature. Now, it's different from time lapse, as it creates little short videos instead of just taking pictures like time lapse, where you're now able to take your camera and walk around with it, recording your movement, whereas in time lapse you have to have the camera basically stationary and everything else moves around it and it records that. If you try to move the camera in time lapse, then it creates this sort of shaky, stuttery video. But with time warp, you're able to actually pick up the camera, move around, and it's nice, smooth recording of a sped up video, and it's an amazing feature. I absolutely love it. The next thing that I like is it's waterproof, and I know we talked about this already, but it's just so nice realizing, wow, I don't actually have to worry about this camera getting wet in the rain or dropping it in the pool on accident or whatever, because it's waterproof in and of itself, as is. And the next thing is the voice commands. They're actually like super helpful when you're trying to record. However, I wouldn't recommend turning them on when you're not ready to record, when you're just like messing around, like trying to look at the footage you've taken or whatever. If you're watching some other videos, you can see him just explaining the GoPro, and then he accidentally says the word, or he just says the word off, and the GoPro just turns off for some reason. And I've had that happen like a few times. You don't even have to say GoPro turn off, it just turns off. So that's one thing. So voice commands are very helpful. However, just only turn them on when you think you're gonna need them. So if you're teetering on the edge of whether to buy this camera or not buy it, I hope this video helped you out and you've made your decision by now. All right, out.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. And I done said the right thing, but I must have used the wrong line. I took the right road, but I must have took a wrong turn. I took a right